Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. I'm going to read through pretty much the full article here. It's fairly long. Going to put in place the maximum trigger warning level possible. This is the worst type of case. I have been reluctant to cover this type of topic, but I think it's important, and I probably will cover this type of topic at least from time to time. I'll perhaps not offer too much of a commentary. What can I say other than the people involved here are the worst of the worst, absolute scumbags. Sentencing has been way too light. And of course, we hope and pray that the victims get all of the support that they need, psychological, medical. But we are going to read through the full details, and again, full trigger warnings. This is incredibly disturbing. A transgender woman was sentenced on Friday to 25 years in prison for forcing the 7-year-old daughter that she fathered to participate in child pornography. Marina Volz, 32 years of age, of Franklin, and this is a transgender person, was sentenced along with 3 others by Superior Court Judge Peter Tober, and they were sentenced for their roles in running a child pornography production company. In their Coburn Lane home in Franklin Township. Also sentenced on Friday were Ashley D. Romero, 28 years of age, formerly known as Adam Romero, so I believe transgender, Sean Allen, 54 years of age, and Dulcinea Necco, 21 years of age. So we can have a quick look at the photos of these 4 scumbags. Marina Volz, transgender. Is that part relevant or irrelevant? You can make up your own mind. Ashley Romero, again, transgender. Is that relevant? Well, there's 2 of them, kind of seems to be. Sean Allen and the 21-year-old Dulcinea Necco. She got off way too lightly, so we're going to carry on reading through the article. Assistant Somerset County Prosecutor Brian Stack told the judge that the quartet of evil scumbags was a vortex of darkness that snuffed out the girl who was taken from her mother in Oregon to New Jersey to be in the child pornography. So I'm just going to clarify here that the term snuffed out, I mean, that can sometimes mean killed, and we have heard of the term snuff videos. This girl has not been killed. She has been rescued, and we hope that she gets all of the help that she needs throughout her life. They are incapable of redemption, Stack said. Stack is the county prosecutor, adding that it was difficult to find the words to describe the crime. They're bad people. Well, that's a bit of an understatement. The 4 have not to this day accepted full responsibility and have blamed others. But it's clear from their text messages and other evidence that they were all responsible. The prosecutor read a letter from the girl's grandmother, who said the victim will never be the person that she could have been because of the crime. You all got off lightly, the grandmother wrote. The girl, thankfully, has since been adopted by relatives, and this absolute piece of shit scumbag, to the highest degree, has surrendered all parental rights. I would have thought that she wouldn't be in a position to surrender, that they would have been revoked in any case. She will never see her child again, said this scumbag's public defender. And the public defender says some things which I find offensive, so we're going to have a closer look at that. His name is Anthony Cowell, the public defender of this scumbag who forced his own 7-year-old daughter, her own 7-year-old daughter, into child pornography with the assistance of 3 others. I'm going to touch on some details here. You may want to stop listening at this point. You may want to stop listening. That's perfectly fine. I perfectly understand. Certainly, if you carry on listening, go and do something else after watching this video. Go and play video games. Watch some kitten videos. I'm being serious. Do anything, whatever it is, that is going to bring some light into your life away from this darkness. Go and do something else. But again, we're going to go through some details here, and they're disgusting. While not delving into the details of the crime, Toba, and Toba is the court judge, the superior court judge, Toba said that it involved neck collars, a cage in the basement, sex toys, and other devices. This was a 7-year-old girl, her own daughter, a 7-year-old girl. If this was not heinous, cruel, and depraved, I don't know what is, the judge said. The judge also said that the girl was taken across the country solely for the sexual gratification of others. The judge said that it will be years before the full extent of the harm to the girl will be known. Okay, I'm going to read a quote from the public defender. So the guy who is paid by the state to defend this transgender child pornographer who human trafficked, sex trafficked his own 7-year-old daughter. Am I wrong for being angry towards this public defender? He was, after all, just doing his own job. But his words just like rubbed me up the wrong way. Here's what the public defender says. I can't wrap my head around what happened in this case. The evidence was some of the worst images I have ever seen in my life. But the public defender goes on to say that this evil scumbag here, who forced his own 7-year-old daughter into child pornography, the public defender says that scumbag has taken some responsibility and wants to be better. Who gives a flying fuck about either of those 2 points? That he's taken some responsibility. So fucking what? You want some leeway, some leniency because he's taken some responsibility? Are you a fucking moron? I'm speaking directly to this public defender, but I'm also speaking to or at the justice system in particular. Why the fuck should leniency be given just because the culprits of these heinous acts decide to take some responsibility? Who the fuck cares? Be remorseful, be regretful, whatever, man. You deserve the worst, and I hope it's coming to you. The public defender said that the scumbag has taken some responsibility and wants to be better. Who gives a fuck? A report by the Adult Diagnostic and Treatment Center in Avenel concluded that the scumbag was not a sexually violent predator. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you insane? This public defender, Anthony Cowell? Are you insane? Are you there in a court of law saying that this guy or this woman, whatever we're supposed to gender them as, is not a sexually violent predator, even though they've been found guilty of forcing their 7-year-old daughter into child pornography, and they're still not a sexually violent predator? What the fuck is wrong with you? This public defender needs to be removed. And the public defender goes on to say, she's not a monster, she's not an animal. She is a fucking monster, she is a fucking animal. And she deserves the worst possible. Yes, she's a fucking monster, you dumb C-word. This public defender has really annoyed me. I understand that they've got a job to do. But I'm not happy with this. I'm just not happy with this. How the fuck could you argue that the guy that subjected his own 7-year-old daughter forced into child pornography, how the fuck can you say she's not a sexually violent predator? That's just insane. Apparently, the scumbag had no criminal record and served in the US Army for 3 or 4 years. The scumbag suffered sex abuse as a child and has mental health issues. Oh, no shit. Including several suicide attempts. Well, perhaps he could try harder next time. All 4 of these scumbags pleaded guilty on November the 21st as part of a plea agreement with the Somerset County Prosecutor's Office. They will receive more than 1,000 days of credit for the time they've been in Somerset County Jail since their arrest in May 2019. Plea agreement. The scumbag, the father, the mother, whatever it's the father, he used his whatever, the father. The father was sentenced on charges of human trafficking, aggravated sexual assault, conspiracy and endangering the welfare of a child. She, the father, she will serve the 1/4 of a century without being eligible for parole. Still not enough. She faced a potential life sentence. That's what she should have got. He should have got. Romero, this scumbag here, who's also transgender, by the way, complete coincidence, of course. Romero, whom the grandmother in her letter called evil, was also sentenced to 25 years without parole on charges of human trafficking, aggravated sexual assault, conspiracy, and endangering the welfare of a child. This scumbag, Romero, admitted that she assisted the other scumbag, the father, in bringing the 7-year-old girl to New Jersey with the purpose of engaging in sexual activity with the child, and sexually assaulted the child jointly with the scumbag father and filmed the sexual assault. Look, if it were up to me, your opinion and my opinion, I'm sure, is the same. If you are a sane person, if you are a normal, sane person, then our thoughts are going to be the same. These guys are monsters. These guys are animals. They are the worst. They are evil. They are scum. They have absolutely transcended, if that's the right word, it may not be, but societal norms, societal rules, any state of normality. They have transgressed. That's the better word. Absolutely transgressed into evil, purposefully and knowingly at the expense of a 7-year-old, for the sexual gratification of others, perhaps hundreds of or thousands of others, through the proliferation of the content that was produced by their child pornography company. It's fucking insane. If I were in control of this, I would handle it myself. We would pay guys or women, either or, to handle this. Doesn't need to be a great deal of money involved. No one needs to be paid a handsome amount to do what ought to be done. I'm not going to spell it out. Okay, so and look, this is what the lawyer for this scumbag here said. There is hope for her. There is hope for her. She's pleaded guilty to these acts of human trafficking, aggravated sexual assault, conspiracy, and endangering the welfare of a child. And their lawyer has the gall to say there is hope for her. Oh, please, judge, be nice and gentle in your sentencing. Maybe she'll change. You fucking morons. Why is the legal system like this? Is that there should be no place for that kind of rhetoric. within the legal system, certainly for this kind of case, in my mind. It's just inappropriate. It's disgusting. Who gives a fuck? Even if they were to internally improve, who gives a fuck? Fuck you. They've transgressed. They've gone to the other side. They've caused heinous acts upon a 7-year-old. They don't deserve any level of forgiveness at all, any level of leniency at all. This scumbag, Sean Allen, was a US Navy veteran. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison with no eligibility of parole for 10 years. And he's been charged with human trafficking, conspiracy, aggravated sexual assault, and endangering the welfare of a child. For whatever reason, he only gets 12 years. That's not enough. He admitted to having helped the scumbag, the two other scumbags, in bringing the girl to New Jersey for this purpose. I would take him to the back of the shed too. Fucking deal with him myself, I would. And this scumbag, I believe a woman, Dulcinea Neko. I don't know, maybe they're trans too, I don't know. Looking at the picture, yes, trans, I would imagine. Neko received the lighter sentence because she was the cook and bottle washer in the home and cared for the girl. Well, didn't care enough to fucking get her out of there or call the authorities. She didn't care for the girl. She did not care for the girl. That is evil legal speak from the lawyer. She did not care for this 7-year-old. She allowed this to happen. She enabled this at the least, in the least. That is not caring for a child. She pled guilty to counts of endangering the welfare of a child and admitted that she filmed the girl. I'm going to wrap things up at this point. There is a little bit more, but you know what? I'll just carry on. Volts, Romero, and Allen operated what they described as a family-owned transgender pornography production studio specializing in amateur BDSM and taboo fetish content. I'm going to give my opinion. You may find this offensive, but look, even if there was no child pornography from this outfit, and there was, but even if there wasn't, that would be weird as it is, and degenerate, certainly ought to be scrutinized, in my opinion. Romero and Allen jointly sexually assaulted the child. I don't want to go through anymore. I'm going to leave it here. The police also recovered firearms. Look, I'm not reading through that part there, which you can have a look at if you want. The search of the electronic devices revealed multiple text messages and other electronic communications discussing the sexual assault of the child. Police also recovered firearms, a high-capacity ammunition magazine, and cocaine from the residence. The child was removed from the home by the State Division of Child Protection and Permanency. Several sexually explicit photos and videos of the 7-year-old victim were found during the examination and analysis of the electronic devices. Yeah, that is the full article. I'll finish off this one sentence that I missed. Romero and Allen jointly sexually assaulted the child and filmed the assault, the video of which was recovered from multiple electronic items within the home. These guys are the worst of the worst. Absolutely fucking sick. Is this a mugshot? Is that a fucking smirk? I would gladly handle this situation myself, or allow for others of a like mind to handle this situation. These guys deserve no mercy. I'm angered by the words from the lawyers and the public defenders. I'm really angered by it. I understand that they have a job to do. It's probably inarguably correct that there are public defenders. but I just don't like the words that are used here. They've pled guilty. Why are they trying to... I don't know. It's just... How can you say that these people aren't monsters? Like, why would you say that to a judge? I mean, isn't a judge... if the judge is in any way sane and reasonable, they ought to be angered by those words too, in my opinion. Oh, they're not a monster. Oh, they feel sorry for it. Oh, okay, all right. Well, no, well, let's give them the lightest sentence possible. What the fuck? I mean, you just handle this. They need to bring back capital punishment. It needs to be much more accepted and embraced. If you do this kind of thing, you fucking lose your life. Done. No long death row, no appeals. You're done. You're fucking done. You're taken out. You're a stain on society and you will be wiped off. I mean, that's what ought to happen. And when, in the next few months, the next year or so, when there is an apocalypse, whatever that form that happens to take, if it's a proliferation of COVID or the next rollout of contagious disease, or if it's due to World War III, or just the impending financial collapse of the entire global economy, whatever form this upcoming apocalypse takes, those that remain, those survivors, I really hope and I expect that they will embrace capital punishment, because they will understand that life and society is precious, that it can be taken away, and that there can be no tolerance for those that cause severe harm to innocent citizens. That is not to be tolerated. I don't understand why civilization has arguably continued to progress, and in so doing suddenly feels that it's okay to give the absolute worst pieces of shit in the world a pass. How the fuck does that happen? How can you call that progress? It's not progress. It's, I don't know, I'll say the word degeneracy, but I'm probably using that wrong, but it's a degeneracy of the system. It's in the system, the judicial system, and I don't know, I'm getting a little bit political, but to me, I'll finish off my thought, the judicial system has become perverse. It has lost its way. It has lost its way. It has been infected, I'm going to say, by wokeism. You want to protect these guys? These guys are admitted child pornographers, admitted child rapists, and you want to protect them? You want to give them some leniency? What the fuck is wrong with you? You want to allow a judicial system which is going to encourage that? What the holy fuck is wrong with you? That is a broken system. I'm some dumbass from a different country that's just reading through some articles, and I can see that that's a fucking broken system. What's going on with all of your district attorneys that you pay $200,000, $300,000 a year? All of your judges, your magistrates, they're not smart enough to realize that this is a broken system? Fucking hell, this is ridiculous. I'm sickened. I'm not going to go through this anymore. Last video of the day for me. Thanks for listening, guys. If you do appreciate this type of content, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. Of course, full condolences to the victim of this situation and the victims of other situations. I hope and I pray that they do get the help that they need, psychological, emotional, just be a part of a loving family. Get away from these motherfuckers. And I wish the worst for these culprits and similar culprits. So I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave your comments. I'm sure we're of a like mind. And as I say, I've tended to not cover these articles of this nature because it is, I don't know, it's because it is extremely horrendous. In a way, it kind of seems pointless in some ways to report on these things because we are aware that these things exist. But I think certainly to a certain degree, I probably feel a little bit obliged to go over them, because it is important to remind ourselves that these things happen. And to, you know, with some of these articles, you just, that some of them just like are more touching than others, and they just allow you to, I don't know, just see things with a little bit more light on them, and you realize that the absolute heinous things that occur, and you know, how twisted the system can be, the judicial system. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point, so I'm gonna wrap things up. Take care, guys. Don't watch any more videos like this, okay? If you're still listening to this now, then please piss off, okay? Fuck off. Don't watch any more videos like this. Not for today. Maybe give yourself a little, you have to give yourself a break. Okay, I'm going to give myself a break. I'm going to do something else, play video games, do a little bit of exercise, but I am done for the day. And hopefully you are too. But thank you. You know that I very much appreciate all of your support. Thank you.